Hi, my name is Alexander Graham Markelides, and I'm here in the biggest city in New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey, where now Senator, former Mayor Cory led, and now current son of amazing poet Amir Baraka, Raz Baraka is currently mayor. Now, I had the great opportunity to teach 4 years at the Greater Newark Charter School in this great city. Again, it's the biggest city in the state of New Jersey, and New Jersey is a pretty critical state. You know, the tri-state area, a lot of trade and commerce, and I think that's something a lot of people overlook. Then Mayor Booker often spoke about the great potential of Newark and the great things that are already happening here, and to look past any sort of negative press. And of course, negative things happen, but you need to deal with that, and you know, spread the positivity, spread the peace and equality, especially when it comes to education and justice. So today I'm going to showcase the remains, actually, of a community garden, an urban farm that I started with then Mayor Cory Booker, now Senator Booker, Councilman Darrin, Sharif. Most importantly, the students, Councilman Darrin Sharif of the Central Ward, the biggest ward in the city with over 50,000 residents, and most importantly, the students, right? So we had, over the 4 years, let's say about 30 kids per grade, about 50 kids per grade. You know, we're talking about a few hundred students went through our school, and the great administrators that we dealt with who supported this project. Ann Jai was phenomenal. The Greater Newark Conservancy with Robin Doherty and the leader, Justin Allen, of many different parts of that organization. Justin Allen's phenomenal. Tobias Fox, him and I teamed up, and through the Adopt a Plot program, we're able to you know, talk about what we're doing. And he actually now has 2 urban farms, and you'll see one of his other, I interviewed him on another YouTube that I posted. So I just want to really take this time to look at what a temporary defeat looks like versus failure. And I also want to take a look at the importance of the resurrection, revolution, and renaissance of our inner cities to make them true hubs where all people have access to healthy food, fresh water, clean air, basic human rights, which I believe are unfortunately violated on a day-to-day basis, not only in our country and our state, but all across the world. And that's why we're fighting the good fight. So here I'm going to show you, luckily, some of the trees we planted with the New Jersey Tree Foundation are still alive. So we planted well over 50, and over the past 4 years working with them and in conjunction with them, well over 150 trees. I know they've planted, I think, over 350 this year alone for celebrating the 350th anniversary of Newark. But here you have some trees. These are street trees, sidewalk trees. All right. So as you see, we were able to literally cut the sidewalk up. And although you see pollution here, you also see life. You also see photosynthesis. And the beauty of this is that you're literally removing concrete, non-porous surfaces. And these porous surfaces, like dirt, allow for drainage. And drainage prevents flooding. And Newark's sewage system is a very old system that was built to not hold the current capacity that currently of the people that live in this great city. So as you see here, we have these hardy street trees. And ladies and gents, these street trees are literally, without a doubt, filtering the air, fixing the carbon, letting loose oxygen, O2. These trees are literally creating climate. Right now you can stand beneath this tree and have a reduced heat. You know, it reduces the heat island effect. The heat island effect is this horrible effect where the more concrete you have, the more darker surfaces you have, especially in cities, the hotter it becomes. So that is the heat island effect, and that increases air conditioning cost. And unfortunately also increases crime. When people are hot and hungry and there's lack of equality, unfortunately violence and crime also increases. Studies have shown this, and this is quite a horrible thing. So you see the trees we planted here. You also see the trees, if you look straight down here, there's many more trees we planted. We lined a green revolution path, a path from our school, the Greater Newark Charter School, to our great garden on Clark, on the corner of Clark and Broad Street here in Newark. And as you see, we used to have a cistern, a 1,300-gallon cistern right over there. We used to have 30 raised beds. You can see I guess the remnants of some. There used to be 3 massive trees over in this corner, beautifully shading the house, reducing the need for air conditioning on that house, reducing the wear and tear of sun through photo degradation on that house, and of course, fixing carbon, producing shade and climate. And then those trees made it through the Newark riots. That's pretty profound. We had a greenhouse over there. We had 6 fruit trees in here, and most importantly, we had students that were planting in their own soil. Students that were taking back their power, their right to take control of their own neighborhood. And if you look, you see asparagus. You see asparagus over there. You see all sorts of wonderful natural things that have made it past this unfortunate transition of this plot, but at the same time, it served its purpose. I was able to show students that, and this is the most important, moment of them all, and rather thought of them all, that you can have a greater and more powerful impact on your environment than your environment has on you, right? It's a two-way street. And so I hope, and I believe, and I have faith that each student that I interacted with at this great school in Newark truly realized through the complete resurrection and transition of this plot that they can impact their environment more than their environment can impact them. And that can be both negative and positive. And I hope, of course, they took the positive of that. As you see here, we had, this used to be, first of all, it was never fenced off. All right, it used to be a house a long time ago, but we had the most horrible parts of society and societal decay occurring here. We had prostitution, we had drug use, we had homeless people, unfortunately, living there. Unfortunately, not only for them living there, but also the fact that our community, in general, in a macro way, doesn't do enough for homeless people and mental health issues. And also, unfortunately, because when you have people that are using drugs and not in good positions around other people, you see that kid over there, he's literally lives there, you don't have good things happening. So we literally transformed this plot. Thanks to Councilman Sharif, the former rep again of Darrin, Councilman Darrin Sharif of the Central Ward, we were able to get over $50,000 worth of work done here. RPM Development Corp, which designed Broad Street and designs many very impressive loft buildings, high-end loft buildings, and some other more affordable housing. They took their time and donated, removing 2 massive railroad ties, a huge, I think it was some sort of oil tanker, or not oil tanker, an oil tank rather, from this garden. And it was amazing because it was the community coming together. You saw government working together with education, with the private sector, right? You saw these companies working together. It was truly a collaboration and a partnership that formed. And I believe that when we see our world as connected, and the air we breathe is the same air that China breathes, and it gets passed through us. When we see our world as hyper-connected, which it totally is with the internet, you then get to know more about, or you just have a greater awareness of why it's so important that everything we do needs to be taken into account of how we affect other people. So the garden we planted here serves its purpose, and other people are using the Adopt a Plot program. If you live in Newark, use it. It's $1, and you adopt an abandoned plot, and you can make it into you can flower bomb it and grow gorgeous flowers. You can grow your own garden. You can make your own orchard. It is such a beautiful and empowering way to help people and to make the community better. It's the reverse of the broken windows effect, which it's the fixed windows effect, right? If you show in your community, whether it's the most high class part of the city or the most low-class suburb, or the reverse, or the most high-class suburb, wherever it is, if you show that you care, and if you have windows that are fixed, and you have garbage that is picked up, right? Just like if you look at a neighbor who always has their trash cans out and is sloppy versus a neighbor who is always taking good care of them, you have an empowered community, and this is contagious, right? This is a green plot, and many other green plots hopefully will continue to grow, no pun intended, and to flourish. So I just wanted to look at this plot and say, you know what? We succeeded. This was a success while we taught these students, but it would have been a complete success if we had it entered on the master plan, the master city plan of Newark, which we didn't get to. That's okay. But if you're a person that's going through struggles right now, or if you're a person that wants to make a positive change, think about, this is the biggest city in Newark, New Jersey, and we made a quarter of an acre. We could barely find an abandoned plot that was this large, and the councilman and I drove around with another great guy on a Sunday and found it, and we said that's the one. So we took this negative eyesore that shows the worst of humanity, societal decay, and we turned it into a thriving urban oasis. And if we can do that, then we can do anything. You know, if the Egyptians could build the pyramids, then anything's possible. Does it take time and dedication and struggle? Yes, but you can do it. You know, we can do it. As I look here, you know, I see these grommets. These are left over. I had a good friend of mine, Alan, come in with my students, and he designed with them. They designed rather the People Profit Planet. No, it was the People Produce Power emblem and motto for the garden. So the students actually got to have some real hands experience with a professional artist. They made their own logo, and they had some business training, actually, some sort of financial literacy. You know, and so they learned how to market and create their own brand in a way. And they drew a beautiful like fist that was green and some flowers and, you know, all that other good stuff. And the artists, you know, combined all their drawings into one. At the same time, David Lutzberg from Arterial Streets, phenomenally generous individual with a very, very impressive landscape architecture firm, again, who did some very impressive work downtown, Broad Street and some other areas. He donated his time, and he came in with our students, and he had very professional, he did everything he could actually do with a landscape architect. Professional architectural paper, everything was drawn to scale, with different movable pieces for the garden beds, the cistern, the water feature, etc., the trees, the solar panels that we hope to get here. And he worked with my students who actually created this, and then they got to see it come to life. And as everything that has a life, things have a death, and that's okay. But I think that it's just so critical that when we look at humanity, when we look at what we're doing for a living and who we're interacting with, that it's not that hokey, do your best, be positive. It's so much more than that. It's, listen, when I do my best, you rise too, right? When my neighbor succeeds, I succeed, you know? And I think that this is a beacon of hope and have faith in humanity, faith in the future. And again, if you're one of those people that are trying to do something significant, trying to just live a good life, make ends meet, or just go above and beyond and truly make a revolutionary positive change, anything is possible. As Nelson Mandela says, it always seems impossible until it is done. And we proved that this can be done. And I think I said it. Thank you, Newark. Thank you for all the people we worked with. And here's one last shot of this amazing plot of land. And I'm sure that it'll have many iterations of different things to come. Thank you, Newark.